Good evening, everyone. This is my story. It's called Ella and the Curse. This is chapter 2, part 5. He probably had a reason why he didn't want to tell her, but Ella wanted him to let her in. She desperately wanted him to open up to her. However, he's got those walls around him again. She didn't know why, but it's like she wanted to trigger a reaction from Dean. She had enough of his politeness. Ella had just met him, so she didn't understand why was it so important to her for Dean to tell her more, for him to let her in. She didn't understand. Ella shook her head. No, she replied with determination in her eyes. At that very moment, Dean looked at her like he wanted to explode. But after a few seconds, it was like he turned off a switch. His patience came back and he controlled himself. Fine. You want to know? Then come back tomorrow morning and have breakfast with me. I will tell you the rest. But please note that it is all fake, Ella. The curse, it isn't real, he said politely and walked away. In response, Ella rolled her eyes at Dean, and yet followed him and saw that he was taking her to the butler. Theodorus, please take Miss Ella back to her hotel. Make sure she gets safely to her room, please. Dean then turned to face Ella and said, Theodorus will escort you home. Is that okay with you, Ella? He asked very politely. She sighed in response. Ella didn't want to wait, but she had an idea. She decided then to ask the butler about the rest of the story, the rest of the curse. Ella was determined to know more about Agatha. I bet $100 that the butler knows about it, she thought. Well, you want to go home now? I'm going to go back to the hotel? Dean asked. She nodded in response. Yes, why not? That seems like a good idea. And I like Theodorus a lot. Dean locked eyes with her and said, Good night, Ella. This evening has been very nice. Thank you, and we'll be seeing each other tomorrow morning. She nodded in response. Thank you, Dean, for a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow morning. Theodorus escorted Ella out of the villa and into the limo. The moment she stepped into the car, she groaned aloud. Ugh. Theodorus looked at her, startled, and carefully asked, "Is there something wrong, Miss Ella?" She let out a breathy sigh and blurted out, "What's wrong? I'm really sorry to say this about your boss, but he really infuriates me." At hearing that, Theodore's eyes twinkled as the corners of his mouth curled upwards into a smile. "How so, Miss Ella?" he asked. "Well, your boss, he's nice. I believe he's a very nice man. He's polite, he's friendly, and seems like an all-round nice guy. But at times, he puts these invisible walls around him that just infuriates me." Theodorus nodded. "I can relate. I know what you mean, miss. But he wasn't always like this, you know. Life has made him this way. Life has been very cruel to him, making him use his defense mechanism most of the time." "But Theodorus, you don't mind that I call you by your first name, right?" she asked, and he shook his head. "Of course not. But it's so frustrating. One moment I can almost feel that he wants to open up, or he's about to lose his temper, but within seconds those invisible walls surround him and he talks to me so politely that I want to strangle him." Theodorus smiled and observed Ella. While those words reached his ears, he got this gut feeling that she truly was the one. She's the one to break the curse. Theodorus realized